Hey, it's Elisa, the Half Asian Tarot Queen, and I'm doing a special reading because it's the full moon and it's the flower moon. So I'm gonna pull an extra card from this Wild Offering Oracle deck, and it seems appropriate for the flower moon. It turned out I ordered this because there was this big sale that was happening at Hay House, and so I ordered a bunch of decks because they were like deeply discounted, and I got this one in the mail, and it has all all these flowers painted on the outside, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I kind of recognize the style, because it's like very floral, and it's really cute. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I know her. I know the girl who painted did the artwork for this deck, and so that was pretty cool. But I'm going to pull one card from this deck. I really like it a lot. It's got some real positive messages, but it seems like, oh, there's one that just flew out, so that's going to be the one. Sanctuary. A sanctuary resides inside no matter what is happening. This inner temple beckons you to enter. Take a deep breath, enter, and sit down in the throne of your own heart. So that's really cool. And I'm going to pull also from the Mystical Shaman because I love this deck. But it's interesting because the flower moon, it's like ever since the coronavirus, there's been a lot of flux and drama, and which is appropriate for this. I mean, I know for myself, like I'm trying to find my own peace because there's a lot of crazy drama that's unfolding around me, and I'm just kind of trying to stay out of the fray, But, I think we've all kind of realigned and are trying to come into alignment with, how we see our lives moving forward. And this is creating a lot of conflict and tension and change. And so it's important to find a place of sanctuary for yourself, But the other aspect of that that's happening, which I feel like is a super appropriate for the flower moon, is that there's a lot of things that are starting to come into fruition now, because it's just like, we all kind of got hit with this shock, and then, we've been reevaluating, and I think now people are starting to kind of emerge out from the cave, and things are starting to move forward again, but things are coming into fruition, At the bottom of this deck, we have the Wind, which this was in yesterday's reading, so I might refer to that. But this is a card signifying change for sure. And yeah, it's really interesting, the cards that came out. Yeah, so it's really interesting how these cards flow together. So we have the upper world, we have the owl, and we have the ghost dance. So this is really, so the upper world is talking about sort of the spiritual realm, and all the guides and ancestors that you have that are inhabiting this realm, and they're kind of, this is a call to you to sort of pay attention to your larger destiny and honor that. It's calling you to kind of like transcend the drudgery of the day-to-day and sort of answer the call to your higher destiny, knowing that you have these guides and ancestors around you. And then, this is so crazy. So the next card we get is the owl. And so this is a card of just the presence of your guides and ancestors around you, and like letting you know that they are trying to send you a message. Like there's a message that they're trying to get through to you. And you need to pay attention to the signs and synchronicities around you, because your ancestors are trying to help you and they're trying to guide you. And then, which interesting, the final card is the ghost dance. So all of these are super related. So the ghost dance is all about kind of learning the lessons from your ancestors and not repeating like the mistakes and things that went wrong for your ancestors. Like they're trying to help you to transcend whatever limitations they might have faced. And so it's crazy because they're like all around you. They're trying to get a message to you, and it's like really important, which is really interesting. I mean, for me, this is just like, whoa. But, you know, find sanctuary. You know, this is a time to like look inward because there's guidance that's being offered to you. And it's crazy for me because like I feel like I've especially like been getting these messages from birds, and it sounds crazy, but like there's this cardinal that's been like flying around me, and like it's like staring at me, and it's like trying to tell me, you know. And I looked it up, and it's like cardinals are messages from beyond, from past lives, you know. And it's like it's super meaningful for me because my father passed away recently, but also my father was a pilot, so you know, like he flew, you know, mechanical birds in the air, and like he was a helicopter. Flew all different kinds of things, but he was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam, and like the number of helicopters that have been swirling around me like on a daily basis is insane, you know. And so it's just sort of like, okay, I get it. You're trying to tell me something, you know. And meanwhile, there's this like, I mean, this family drama that's been unfolding. That's just like I'm having to like kind of step up and yeah, so it's just sort of like, it's interesting because there's been like a lot of like crazy things that have happened, and it's like, even though my father's not here, like I feel like from beyond he's trying to like guide me to the best possible outcome, you know, for everyone. So really interesting. Okay, so I just pulled 3 cards from the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot to get some overall energies for the reading for the full flower moon, what is coming into fruition now. So we have Temperance, we have the 2 of Cups, and we have the Page. Okay, so that last one was a Page of Cups. There's a call that came in, and so it all got disconnected. But anyways, so the Temperance, this is a card of alchemy, and it's a card of, you know, you're mixing these different ingredients, you know, to like bring something into fruition, you know. But then, which is interesting for the flower moon, but you know, it's also a card of balance, you know. It's like finding sanctuary, and what's interesting is, you know, the 2 cards that flank it, we have the 2 of Cups, so this is a deep love connection, and we have like the Page of Cups, which is an offer of love coming in, which is interesting because it's almost like we're bringing this love into fruition, which is really interesting, you know. Like maybe that's what's coming in for this full moon. I have another deck, the Tarot del Fuego, so I'm going to pull some cards from here for some general energies for this reading. But oh, this looks like a pretty juicy one, you know. I'm liking it so far. I'm just going to do a little shuffle here, but yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, I wonder if we can get some clarity about what this lesson is that, you know, your ancestors are trying to bring to your attention. And maybe this is something that's like blocked love from coming in the past, you know. And like some sort of emotional wound. This is a theme that's been coming up in the last couple weeks in the readings. And oh my gosh. Something like a mistake that you don't want to like keep repeating. And so your ancestors and your guides are like trying to help you to navigate through this so that you don't keep repeating this pattern, which is which is really beautiful because, you know, I mean, generally, I think your ancestors want to help you to be happy, you know. Okay, I'm going to pull, 2 more cards. Wow. I love the artwork on this Tarot del Fuego deck. Oh my gosh. Okay. So at the bottom we have the Fool. So this is taking a leap of faith into the unknown. You're just like, go in for it, you know? And then we have the Knight of Cups. So this isn't an offer of love coming in, you know? This is like a super romantic offer. Then we have the Queen of Swords, which this is she was in a reading like either yesterday or the day before. And this is is, you know, usually a single woman, and she's kind of, she could be widowed, but she's sort of been through the ringer, and she's a little, maybe a little jaded, you know, and she's got real strong boundaries, you know, but like, she's just kind of no nonsense. Like, she's not going to put up with any guff because she's already been through it all, you know. And then we have the Two of Wands, which is interesting because this is like a decision, like, it's like you've got the world in the palm of your hands, and now you have to like make a call. Are you going to go this way or are you going to go that way? So it's interesting because it's almost like this sort of like, this Queen of Swords is right under the Two of Cups, you know? And so it's just sort of like, it's almost like she's got the Page of Cups on one side and she's got the Knight of Cups on the other side. Like there's offers coming in, like maybe 2 offers, you know? Like this Queen of Swords has got like 2 offers coming in, and like now she's going to have to make a call. Like, are you going to go this way or the other way? And it like kind of suggests, because one of them's a page and one of them's a knight, that one of them's a little bit more of a mature offer than the other one. And she's kind of like got to stay balanced and like got to make a call on like what's going to work for her, you know? And then we have the Hermit, which this can be a Virgo energy, but this is a card of sort of like being spiritual and taking a step back from the world, which, you know, we're all kind of doing this because of coronavirus, and just sort of like healing and like looking for signs from the universe about like how we're going to move forward. And then we have the King of Pentacles, which this is interesting because this King of Pentacles is like a mature, he's like a patriarch, he's financially stable, you know. I mean, this is someone who's laying a solid foundation, you know, so it's like we have this deep love connection, and it's like on top of this solid foundation. And it's interesting because there is a thread on the channel called Phoenix, and it's like he's the main character in this thread, and it's like he has been kind of downtrodden, he's been oppressed, he has this deep love for this counterpart that's been blocked by these oppressive situations. And it's interesting because there was this whole theme about these oppressive situations being lifted in the last couple weeks. Like that came up in yesterday's reading, and then there was a reading a couple weeks ago called The Truth Trumps Oppression. But it's like in that event happening was like triggering this ascension, for, you know, so he was like, his destiny, once he learned this spiritual lesson and ascended, was to become an emperor, you know, like he was going to ascend to like an emperor status, you know. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is like a huge paradigm shifting change. And this falls right under this decision, and it falls right under this Page of Cups, which is this offer of love. So, I don't know. It looks like this might be an earth-shattering kind of moon in the love arena, you know. I'm going to pull 3 more cards from Radiant Wise to get some guidance about how we might move through this energy. But it looks like this Queen of Swords, who's just kind of like she's been fielding all these like all kinds of nonsense and like had to put up with a lot of stuff, is like actually she's getting like some kind of love offer, which is a little bit out of her territory, out of her realm, because she's like usually the one queen that's kind of single, you know. But like she's got love offers coming in from both directions, this queen, and it's just like, what's she gonna do now? Like she's just sort of like large and in charge, used to doing things her own way, but it's coming from both sides. And then the card that falls on top of that Queen of Swords is the Fool. Like the second time we've gotten this Fool energy, like taking a leap of faith into, like, you know, the unknown. And then we have the Moon card, which this is a card of, you know, of the watery realm of like emotion, you know. And so it's just sort of like that fell under like the Temperance, you know, and like keeping this in balance. But, you know, we're like alchemizing this watery emotion, you know, like we're making something out of that, you know. And then we have, again, this just fell out, and it fell out upside down. So I don't usually, I'm kind of anal about not having upside down cards. So when they come out upside down, it's kind of a thing. But we have the Three of Wands, which this is a card of like waiting for your ships to come in. Like you see something happening in the distance, but it's like, you know, you're kind of planning for the future. But this is upside down. So this is just, and it fell right on top of this love, this decision, this Wheel of Fortune. And it's like, nope, we're not waiting anymore. Like, this is happening, you know, like this is happening right now. So it's like, okay, like this looks like a climactic full moon. Like, I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Moonology to, because, you know, it is a full moon, but it's just sort of like, oh my gosh, it's sort of like, I think this, you know, this is a little bit wild for this Queen of Swords, because she's like almost like given up on love, and then all of a sudden it's like coming at her from every direction, you know. And so it's like she's fended off all this stuff, she's been through everything, you know, but like she's had like a certain grace about it. And so now it's like all these people, or, you know, it seems like there's two potential suitors that maybe have like realized, you know what, like while they've been off playing the field, messing around with like whatever's out there, they're realizing, you know what, that Queen of Swords back there, she was the one that kind of like had like a certain grace and was like keeping it together. And like, what am I doing wasting my time on this? Like, maybe I should go back for the Queen of Swords, you know. And so like they're both kind of going back at the same time, and the Queen of Swords is like, wait, what? Okay, so I'm going to pull two of these. So we've got A Time for Healing, and we have Show the World the Real You. So it's almost like this Queen of Swords who's just sort of like, she's like not been vulnerable. She's just sort of like, stay away. I don't got time for your nonsense. And now all of a sudden, like, love's coming at her from every direction. And she's actually on solid footing, you know. So she's just sort of like, well, maybe it's time to like put aside my jaded persona, and like maybe it's time for me to settle down. Like, I've got this solid foundation here, and like maybe I should take a leap of faith. Like, maybe I don't need to protect myself anymore, because maybe the time is right for me to have this going on in my life, you know. But, you know, it seems like she might take a moment for herself to like meditate on how she sees the future. I'm going to go to the Queen of the Moon Oracle to pull a couple cards to end the reading, but this looks like a climactic full moon that's about to go down for this Queen of Swords. There was another reading with the Queen of Swords a couple days ago. I'm going to link it here because it probably has something to do with this in some sort of way. All right. Yeah, and if you haven't noticed, like, I've kind of actually taken some time to like link related readings. So when you see a reading like come up here, like, you should link it, because it has to do with the readings. Like, I don't do extendeds, or at least right now I'm not doing it. So that's kind of like my version of extended, because I kind of connect storylines, you know. So, oh my gosh. So we got the Unexpected, and we got Hunger, which this is like the wolf moon, which is interesting. And then we got Something Unexpected. So like whatever, this Queen of Swords has been kind of like doing her own thing and minding her own business, but it sounds like out of the woodwork and unbeknownst to her, like she's got two dudes coming her way, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and she's just like, what do I do? So get ready, because this is going to be an exciting, climactic, drama-filled full moon. Good luck with this. We'll check in soon.